Welcome everybody for reals this time. We just had a little bit of technical difficulties. I guess I was logged into the other screen and it was making everything just chaos. So sorry about that. But we're smooth now. Yes, Amnon, everything's good?
Everything is good.
Awesome. That was total chaos because you were talking and it was just like every word was echoing and I was like, what? So if anybody was listening to that, that was kind of magical. So anyway, today we're going to actually be doing a part two from last week. So those of you that tuned in last week and we were tuning in and talking about the art of divination and how to read the universal signs. It really I feel like we just scratched the surface of the iceberg last week, so we're going to continue with that today. Um, Yesterday, I actually taught a creative vision board workshop in my home, and it was really awesome because the girls that grew I can't talk. The girls that showed up were all very much having similar experiences in their movie where they were being challenged to take leaps of faith, and it was time to start really listening to spirit and trusting that they were being guided. And that can feel scary is what I got across the board. Everyone that was connecting had in common this thing where they feel, there's times where fear just can consume them and they feel afraid to move on, or they feel like, what if I'm going to die, or what if I might become homeless? And we kind of addressed that in our workshop about this like bag lady syndrome, or if you're a guy, it applies the same thing. But this deep fear that we're going to be homeless and we're just going to be, you know, deserted and abandoned by spirit. And I feel like that's a big part of what we're healing collectively is as we're bringing heaven down to earth and we're anchoring in the light in this physical dimension, we're actually really being tested to not be so attached to this physical reality in a way that distracts us from our higher connections with Source. And so when we remember that we're one with Source, we have infinite possibilities, expanded vision. We become the visionaries. We become the aligned global shift leaders again that are here seeing a bigger vision that is maybe not here yet physically. And so for a lot of different souls that have come here with the mission and intention for change, part of your test and part of what will challenge you in your initiations is that if you get too caught up in your so-called reality and you're just stuck staring at what's right in front of you and it looks limiting or it looks enslaving, it feels like you're suffering or struggling in that place, it's going to be really important for you to start connecting through meditation. I have passion about encouraging humans to meditate more. We were talking about that in the workshop yesterday, how certain souls that we look up to, in religion, Christ is the big hero for Christianity. And if you read about Christ, he often is referenced as leaving the people and he's retreating to the desert, or he's retreating to the garden, or he's retreating to the forest to pray or to meditate. I feel he was being quiet, and that saying, be still and know that I am God, is very truthful. When we embody moments and often moments of stillness and solitude, we can become more awake and aware to our vision and to our higher soul mission. And that helps us to move forward with intention. So in our manifestation workshop, we're making vision boards, and that's a part of it, and it's fun. But there's a lot that we talked about of where there's belief systems that people have that hold them back. And so one girl had mentioned that, she's like, well, everything I want is just out of reach. And she said that a few times, and then she's like, oh, I just realized I have a belief system there. And I was like, yes. And so if we can start to catch our belief systems and we can start to release them and let them go, it's going to help set us free so that we can enjoy more like a greater expanded reality. And so for a lot of the visionaries, the challenge will be that you are in a world that has a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of games, there's a lot of control, there's a lot of deceitfulness, lack of integrity. A lot of these things, we see them, but how do we bring a different shift to this planet and not get too distracted by what's all around us? And this is where it's going to be very important for each of us to practice our stillness time, our meditation time, and to become still and connected with Source so that we can remember, what did I come here to do? I have this deep feeling, like for me personally, And I'll get into the signs of all this because that's what our focus is today. But for me personally, I have often been called to release things from my life that were not really serving my highest vision or were not honoring my soul and my well being. Now, to a lot of people in the movie that were okay with taking from us, we had this come up yesterday in the workshop that a lot of these women have been in situations where people want to take from them. They expect them to do more and more and more with very little regard towards how much they're giving. And when we've trained people to do this, we've trained people that we are their doormats. We've trained them that we'll just give and give and give, and we won't really care if they show us honor back. That's really training the wrong alignment. We want to actually shift into an aligned living, which is where we love ourselves, where we take good care of ourselves, and we don't allow or tolerate abuse or manipulative energies around us. And for some of us, how are we going to learn that? We're going to be tested. We're going to have initiations. We're going to have life situations that show up to bring us the exact stuff we need to see and deal with so that we can rise higher. And so recently, when I had that test come, I think it was like 2 weeks ago now, where I had left a job that I had been at for a long time and I had been very much giving and assisting and supporting in that space. But it just continued to get more and more just enslaving and disrespectful. And I was just like, this is really getting uncomfortable, angels. Like, give me a sign if I'm meant to leave this. And they did. They brought the signs, which I talked about last week. Um, and it was interesting because once I made that leap and I started to move in more aligned directions, other doors of opportunity opened. And I saw this thing on Facebook a couple days ago, which was pretty funny but so truthful. And it said, it says that when God closes one door, He opens another. But it's like, damn, those hallways are a bitch. And I just thought it was so funny because a lot of us, when a door shuts, we're kind of in this hallway and we're looking and seeking the light of that new illuminated door. And for some, it can be really frightening to be in that dark hallway. But if you can remember and remind yourself that you're just walking in a hallway and you're going right towards the path where you need to go. And when it's lit up, you're going to know it. You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. So if you can just walk through that dark hallway with trust and be relaxed and centered, it's going to move a lot more swiftly for you than if you're freaked out and you're stressed. And so when we come back to laws of attraction and we think about our vibrational alignment, if I am in a place where I let something go, but then I'm in deep fear of the lack of it or the loss of it, then vibrationally I'm inviting more of that. And that's not such a great idea. It's not really the best, let's say it's not the highest place we could focus. But if I focus on what I'm excited for, what I'm ready for, what I know I deserve, and even though I haven't experienced it yet, but man, it's going to be so awesome when it comes, then that is the right alignment for miracles. That is the place we want to be to manifest our dreams. So yesterday in the group, some of the women, like let's say some of them are working on calling forth their soulmate. They don't want to sit around and think about how lonely they are and think that they're not enough and no one loves me, because vibrationally that is not going to be very helpful in summoning in the love of their life. It'll be a great way of summoning in someone who will not respect them, who will not think they're worthy, and they'll continue to struggle. So these are times where we have to be very strong in our vision and we have to keep our focus on our goal, on our desire. So I often will think of myself like a tightrope walker. And if my goal is to be over there and to experience that experience, I need to hold my focus 100% in that direction and walk there with confidence, courage, and excitement. If I start to look around me in doubt and fear and look down, oh God, I'm so high, I'm going to fall, I will really freak myself out and then I can fall back. And that's not really going to make me feel better. So I say that for all of you because I've definitely been tested. And when we come to this topic of universal signs, I was talking to the girls in the workshop yesterday about how I really now know the universe is constantly talking to me all the time. And it's not a matter of if I'm worthy or if the universe loves me or if I'm, supported. I'm absolutely supported. So are all of you. It's a matter of starting to listen and trust and just calm that mind chatter down. We have so much fear, and especially one of the things the angels brought up in the workshop yesterday was we need to be mindful of who we're spending our time with. So if you're a person that you're in this place of expansion and you're ready for new things and loving experiences, loving people, and you're surrounded with friends who don't really respect you, they don't really treat you with honor, they don't really have integrity, they're just always taking from you, they don't really care about you, that's going to be important to clear that. And so a lot of our evolution comes down to how open are we in letting things go. So if we're ready to let go of that which is no longer serving us, it's going to create and free up space for that which we desire to show up. So if I'm stuck and attached to this person who won't love me, won't respect me, and I talk about it a lot and I'm frustrated about it a lot, what it's going to do is vibrationally keep me there and most likely call in new people to also help play out that part. So what we want to be focused on is that if something doesn't feel right in your movie, if it doesn't feel honoring, if it doesn't feel loving, you want to go and talk to your angels about what you're ready for, and you need to get to that place where you're done with that old situation. And a lot of us are addicted to our story. We are so connected and attached to our story. So we have to be willing to drop the old story. So if you're always talking about how broke you are, how poor you are, how nobody loves you, no one respects you, stop. Like, get it out of your system, go and journal it, go write a blog about it, do something to get it out, and then burn it, let it burn, and energetically and vibrationally now focus on all that you're grateful for and all that you appreciate. And I'm not saying deny what you're feeling. If you're pissed off, if you're angry, you need to completely honor that energy and that experience. I recently had I wrote a letter to some members of my family that I haven't seen in a long time. And just, through the grapevine, I keep hearing gossip is happening ever since I left my marriage. And there's just these people are people that are my blood family, but not one time since I left have they tried to contact me or get to know me or ask if I'm doing okay. Nothing. But I'm constantly catching wind of the gossip and, their opinions about everything. And so I was pissed off and I went and I sat in my computer. First, I meditated and I was just like, Spirit, what do I need to do? And what came through was, you need to speak your truth. And I wrote this first letter and I was pissed. And all of my anger and all of the frustration, the hurt and the pain of what I felt they had put me through and not really shown me honor came out. Now, I didn't send that letter, and I'm going to say this for a reason. You want to let all of what you need to get out. And then I go and I process and meditate more. And okay, now how can I speak this truth that I know is in me with the highest love and the most compassion that speaks truth for myself, but also shows love and compassion to others? So then I go back and I'm guided to write that letter again, but this time with a focal point from love and from truth, but not like an attack and angry. And so some of you may have to do this at times where you might need to go and journal how pissed you are. I had a couple clients that they would go on Facebook and do this, and they would just be like raging and upset, and every emotional thing they felt, they would be on Facebook talking about it. And when the client came and asked me about what did I feel about their life and any messages, I told them, I really think it would be smart for you to process that privately, to go and express all that privately. And then when you have a very clear focus of what you want to say, then go and make it public, because that's when it can really help others. So like if you think back, I think maybe a month ago, I was writing about bullying and how people, try to lash out at others. Now, I had to go through the process of getting all that anger out of me for having that done to me personally. But then when I went and wrote about it publicly, it was very much focused upon humans and humanity, and even the fact that those that have done that hurtful stuff, they're hurting deeply. So there was a lot of awareness in that public post. And it's smart if we can do that, if we can process things and we can give ourselves time to release stuff in a healthy way. But then we want to move swiftly into our alignment of what we're ready for, what we want to manifest. So like we were saying in the workshop yesterday, if we're focused too much on our story and it's a negative story and it's a hurtful story and we're just always in that pain and we're always in that there's not enough, no one loves me, we need to shift it. And we need to come into this place that maybe feels not as comfortable because this is new and this might invite people that do love us. And we start talking about how loved we are. We start expressing and expecting love to come. We start getting excited for all the money that's coming and for all the loving clients that are coming and the aligned souls that are in our life, the true soul family that honor us. Now, in your movie, there may be times where old people are going to need to fall away to make space for the new. And this is where we need to be discerning because, like I said, who you hang out with on a daily basis is going to vibrationally affect you. So if you're constantly around people that are gossiping and they're hateful and they're always saying negative things, if you're constantly around people who are egoic and they're competitive, they're always competing with each other, they're always trying to one up the next one, it's going to rub off on you. So part of our awareness as we evolve as visionaries is, what do you want to create? And so if you want to create a more loving, honorable world, then you move with love and honor and you just hold your focus on all that good stuff that's coming, even if there's a bunch of people around you who are showing you the opposite of that. And that's probably going to be the biggest test and initiation for you as creators, is to keep your focus on what you love, that tightrope walker, and not what you're afraid of or what you hate or what you're angry about. Don't go and rage too much and go and rant on Facebook too much, because vibrationally you're giving a lot of energy to that story. So there was an example I was giving the girls yesterday in the workshop where I remember a few years back I had left my marriage, and many of you, if you've been watching this show for the last year, you know this story. In 2012, left a 23-year relationship, went out on my own. Well, not on my own, angels with me, but went out on my own. No clue what my world is going to be, how I'm going to make a living, if I'm going to be homeless. I just trusted that my guides were going to take care of me. They told me, you're going to be here to offer angelic auric clearings, that humanity needs this healing, and you are going to help them in a great way. You're going to help them with consciousness. I had no clue then that I was going to have an internet show, and who knows what I have coming in the next 6 months, but I feel it's good stuff. My point is, when I left, I was walking in complete faith and trust, and there was nothing promised to me except for my angels saying, you're going to be fine and we're going to take care of you. But nothing in my physical world was promised. It was just, okay, where are we going now? And there was a lot of tests that came to me. And I remember not long after leaving, my family was, some of them were very angry at me because I was no longer being the girl they were used to. I was different. I was choosing to love myself and not be their doormat anymore. And so when you're in this kind of cocoon phase of your journey, and you're no longer going to be that caterpillar that crawls around on its belly and just, tries to not get squished by people, and you're wanting to fly, you know in your soul you were destined to fly, there's this journey. Think of an actual caterpillar and crossing the road and how many times it almost gets squished. And then it finally makes it to the forest to like build its cocoon. It goes into this dark cocoon and it turns to complete mush, has no sense of identity any longer. Like, who the hell am I? And so if you as a soul are in this place in your life where you're like, who the hell am I? What is my freaking purpose? Like, I really want to know what I'm here for. That is a beautiful place if you can understand that you're in the cocoon and relax and let go and trust that spirit is working on you and that miracles are going to come from your surrender and your alignment with source. So that moment will come where that cocoon will crack open and you're going to fly. So when I was leaving that marriage, I had a lot of family lashing out. And when I would go quietly with spirit and ask, what the hell is that about? Why is everyone being so hateful? I just want to love myself. I just want freedom. I need liberation. And spirit would speak to me in the forest and say, they miss you. They are hurting. They are angry because you left. They felt like you embodied so much light in their movie. And they were, in a sense, addicted to my light. And they needed to learn to come into it themselves. And so part of me knew that, and I had to go. And there was a lot of enslavement that just, it was not healthy for me. But I remember times when I came into my new relationship that I'm now in with Ron now, my beloved. And there was a day that I had gotten all these hateful text messages from my ex-husband, and I was pissed off. And I'm going to say this to you for a reason, because we need to honor what we feel. And so I walk in, I see all these text messages, and I'm just like, fuck, I was so pissed. And I'm not going to deny that, because I think that's what's not healthy with us as humans is, if you're as a woman raised to believe you're not allowed to ever feel anger, you're going to suppress that. And it's going to actually blow like a freaking Mount St. Helen volcano. And that's not going to be healthy. So if you feel anger, if you feel frustration, honor that. Let yourself express that. But then you want to swiftly shift out of it. So in the workshop yesterday, I was kind of giving them a demo of what that looks like. So here's Tanya. I walk in the house. I'm like, God damn it. Like, why is he such a hateful person? I've been nothing but nice to him. I'm like, fuck. And I'm angry. And so I'm venting that. And then I put my phone down and I just let all that anger out. And then I looked at my husband now and I was like, I love you. I am so grateful I have you. I am so grateful for our beautiful home. I am so grateful for the life I have now. I am so grateful for the honoring people that are in my life. I am so grateful for all the beautiful clients that Spirit brings to me. I am so grateful to make a difference and to help people learn how to live in a more aligned and loving way, live with more courage. And I just start listing off my gratefulness, my gratitude list. And it was out loud, it's happening. And my family's just looking at me like, okay. And the reason I say that is that that is powerful shifting. It's like you're taking the light switch and you were in anger and frustration and you had to feel that for a little bit. It came at you and you're like, ah, but then swiftly turn that dial up to higher aligned vibration. You want to go back to gratitude as fast as you can. The people I see struggling the most stay in that low vibration and they go sit in a dark room and energetically. I had a dream recently that I'm going to talk to you about connecting with this sign. But energetically, when you're in depression and you're in fear and lack and you stay dwelling on what's wrong, you go put yourself in a room and shut the door, shut the blinds, and you're sitting in the dark by yourself. The light is still shining outside. There are still loving people all around you, but you're not letting them in. You are purposely yourself playing a victim role and you're putting yourself in that dark room, no matter what it is you're doing it with. So if you can feel what's scaring you, if you can honor what's scaring you, you can really look at it and really feel it and vibrationally release it. Then you can go right back to your gratitude, and that is going to do wonders. It's going to help heal your body. It's going to help heal your finances. It's going to help heal your relationships. Everything in your movie is going to get better when you put your focus back in that alignment. So when we come back to signs, I had a dream that happened maybe like, I think it was like a week ago before my Empowering the Empath workshop that I had. And a lot of the women that I'm connected with, sometimes I dream of them, they dream of me because we're having soul connection. So this one night I have a dream of them. And one of the girls is in the other room with my daughter, and they're like drawing on the wall, I remember in the dream. And they were just having a good time drawing. And there was some dark energy trying to come through the door. And I was pushing my body against that door, holding this darkness back. And there was some of the girls that I care about in the group that were in this dark room, and they were just sitting there in the dark, like staring at the wall and in sadness. And I remember holding this darkness back that kept trying to push through. And as real as that darkness seemed to them, I was like, get back, you're not coming in. And I was yelling at the women in my dream. I was like, you need to wake up. You need to take back your power. Remember who you are. Remember the love and the light that you are. And then I woke up. Well, when I was going through and processing that dream, it's perfect. It made so much sense to the warrior I am, because I am working here for the angels as a messenger. And often my message is to wake you up, whoever you are. If you're clients that are working with me, family in my movie, people I care about, I'm like, wake up, take back your power. You are so powerful. You have so much more power. And so that darkness is different for everybody. For some, it's their marriage is falling apart. For another, they're sick. For another, they've got, too much financial burden and debt. For others, they're being bullied and harassed. It's different darkness for everyone, but it's an illusion. And that illusion can seem so convincing at times, but it is an illusion. And if we're focusing on it too long, we start giving it energy. So let's see, what was the name of the movie I just watched? Tomorrowland. I went and saw that last week right after our show. And I highly recommend you guys go watch that movie. It was amazing. It made me cry. And I could so relate to her soul. Like this woman, this girl, she's a visionary. And she was like, I'm not going to focus on what's all around me, all the fear, all the terror, because I know that this could be a good place. I know that the world could be better. And so she was the visionary, and she had to fight like a warrior to remember what she was there to change and help with, because everyone around her had taken the drug of going into amnesia and feeling powerless. And I love how that movie talks about the media and how people basically, they see all the natural disasters, they see that the economy's bad, they see that there's drought, there's this storm coming. It's all being fed to them because it's basically poison, and that feeding of that mass media of fear is actually poisoning the masses into being afraid that there's nothing they can do. Why bother even trying to change things? Let's just go party, let's go get high, let's go get drunk and forget about it, because there's nothing we can do. And it's that is the problem, is that those of you watching are probably of a higher vibration if you're even tuning in. But think of the people in your world that are not tuning in and that are tuning out. They're getting numb, they're getting high, they're just partying, they're not loving themselves, they're not taking care of themselves. That is the issue. And if we don't start to shift that, we are participating in that demise. And so if you guys feel led to watch that movie, I highly encourage you to watch it. It's called Tomorrowland. But that movie, I just so related to the message, and it came at a very divine time, as far as that we have the power to take back what we came for, and that we are the visionaries of a different change, a different movie. So when I get frustrated with the world, I'll ask the angels, what do I do about this? And they'll help remind me of the visionary I am. And don't complain, Tawnya. Don't be upset about the darkness. You came knowing it was going to be like this. That's why you came. You have to keep on focusing on that light and on that love, and you need to keep speaking your truth to whoever's listening. So don't be too frustrated if some don't listen, or if some people treat you like crap. One day they say they love you, they come to you kind of like little groupies, and they want to hear a little of the spiritual wisdom you have, and then they're out looking for the next rock star. Don't take it personal, because that isn't about you. What we're here to do is we're here to create change, and we're here to bring heaven to earth. So if I have this inner burning desire for a world of honor and integrity and kindness and caring and respect, then I'm going to be that, even if I'm surrounded by people who don't have a clue of that, or that they just don't honor that. And it's not because what I believe in doesn't matter. It's just they've all been, brainwashed into thinking that it doesn't, and they're all in fear. So we have to take back our power so that we can embody that light, and we can show others and lead others in the way. We can lead the way through our alignment. So a lot of our looking for the universal signs is going to be so important to these way showers, because you need to be more connected to your source than to humanity. That has been my lesson in my life, is if I was connected to humanity, I would be screwed. I'm not even joking, because humanity often is insane. And when I look at society's way, and how, like, even I think of, like, when I do soul coaching, I'm not a salesy person. If I feel something I can do will genuinely help a person, I'll say, hey, I could help you. If you want that help, come see me. If you have the time, the energy, the money, and the desire, I am here to help you. But if you want to be a victim, or you want to say there's not enough time, and you want to make excuses, and you want to just, continue in your story of lack, then I'm not the person for you. So you can go somewhere else, and I'm not going to take that personally. But we have to start being in our alignment where we love ourselves enough to actually speak our truth and hold our vision for what we're here to bring to the planet. And if people around us aren't honoring that, this is when sometimes Spirit is encouraging us to let things go, and let some friendships go, let some of the people that we once maybe spent a lot of time with, let them fall away if they're not for your highest good. And so we'll know what highest good feels like, because it will feel good. It will feel honoring. It will feel loving. If it feels enslaving, if it feels like someone's not really honoring you and they're disrespecting you, or they're just ashamed of you, they're rejecting or abandoning you, whatever that energy is, that's just a sign that it's time for you to move on, and that Spirit is encouraging your expansion. So I'm going to take a pause, because I was going for a solid half hour. Is there any questions or comments coming in?
There is one comment from Cindy, and she's saying it was a great workshop yesterday. I am
Awesome.
so excited to see the things on my vision board manifest. It's an exciting time to create.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, Cindy is one of those clients that I'm like, angels, send me 100 more beautiful souls like Cindy, because she is the epitome of what I'm talking about. There are certain clients that I have let go of that just, they constantly were wanting to just take from me. They wouldn't value my time or what I'm doing. And I'm like, I don't need to explain stuff to you. If you don't really value this, then you're just not supposed to work with me. And so there was certain people I just let fall away because they weren't really having integrity. Cindy is one of those dream clients that I am so grateful for, because she has the time, she has the resources, she has the desire for change, and she isn't making excuses. She shows up, she does the work. when I have workshops. I live in Vancouver and I have so many people around me that live close to me that are always talking about wishing they could change stuff and wishing they could understand more of what I understand. And they're always talking, but they don't come in. And then I have someone like Cindy who Skypes in remotely and she does workshops with me, meditations with me. She's awesome. And so I want to give a big energetic high five to souls like Cindy because she is going to make her dreams come true because she focuses on that. She focuses and she cares about that. She has invested time with me as a healer and as a soul coach to help her focus on what matters to her so that she's not draining her resources and she's not putting her energy places that it doesn't really serve her, but she can start to really become all she came here to become. And that's that visionary part that is so important. And I believe that her spending time with me has helped her really see her own gifts and her own power and potential. And if she would have just spent time with who she was used to, she would just be the same. And I'll let her comment on that if she wants to. But I feel this is what I'm talking about. Those that really want the change, come and talk to me. I would love nothing more than to help you as a soul coach. If you don't live near me, it's okay. Call me. We can do soul coaching sessions. If you live near me, come to workshops. Don't keep talking about it. So, I think souls like Cindy, they are actually here and they want to do the work. They want the change, but they do put the effort there, and there is a need for effort. You have to be consistent to the path. If someone wants to be in good shape, they go to a personal trainer and then they just go home and eat a bunch of food and just sit in front of the TV and they're like, that trainer sucked. And then they complain about still being fat. It's not the trainer's problem. It's the fact that you aren't showing up with consistency and you're not actually believing in yourself and putting the effort forth. Same thing like my yoga classes. Like if people are like, oh, I really need inner peace, Tawnya. I'm so stressed. I'm so impatient. I just want peace. And I'm like, we'll come to meditation. That'd be a good place to start and come consistently because the more you show up and the more you practice cultivating inner peace, the more it's going to be natural to you. But a lot of these people, they talk about inner peace and then they go right back to the drama, right back to the busy life, right back to getting drunk, right back to getting high because they don't really care or value it. So souls like Cindy are golden and I love serving souls like hers. So thank you, Cindy, so much. You bless my life so much and I'm so grateful that I have helped assist in blessing yours.
And she's saying, "Woohoo! Love you, girl." And she
Yeah, I'm
said,
getting fired up.
and she adds, "The effort is so worth it."
Yes. And effort is
That's
required, is it not, Cindy? It's required. Um, so right before the show, I was meditating and well, I'm going to kind of fact check because I could tell you so many ways the universe speaks in science because it happens to me every single day. But earlier today, I was on a walk in nature with my daughter and my dog, and it was just beautiful. It was so cloudy, and I love the Northwest when the clouds are so fluffy and big. And I was just like, wow, like we live in such a beautiful place, and we're just walking, and we can see this really. We live on a hill, and so we can see the big, like the valley, and it's just this beautiful perspective. I've always loved seeing from that perspective. And we're talking about the future. And my daughter, she is a visionary herself, and she's like, Mom, one day I feel like you're going to have this healing center and it's going to be called the Love Center. And I was like, I love that. And so she's telling me about her vision. And so when we're walking today, we're talking about that. And we're talking about future expansion and manifesting great abundance and helping millions of people, like having my show take off in such a way that I can reach millions and have it really benefit others' lives and also bless our life greatly. And I'm walking along and I look up and an eagle flies over right then as we're talking about this expansion and this desire for change. And I'm just like, wow, the eagle, that's amazing. Because eagle spirit, the eagle medicine's all about expanded visionary, like vision and to stay in that energy of visionary. And we walk by this building and this really pretty house that's near us. We think it's a house, actually. We're not sure. And we were just like, that place would be so perfect for the Love Center. And so it's not that maybe that place will be it. It could be. But what it is that we're dreaming together and we're talking together and we're vibrationally opening ourselves for new change and for new experiences. And that is powerful. And so Eagle flies in, and you know how I talked to you guys about animal totems and how, excuse me, they will come in at a time to share their medicine with us when we need it. So when Eagle flew in, and then later Dragonfly flew in, I thank them both for their medicine. And so I'm going to read you the eagle spirit totem today from the card. And what eagle represents is vision, freedom, authority, and inspiration. Great sky keeper, bridger of heaven and earth, vision maker for the new dawn. Native American lore tells the legend of the Thunderbird, a mighty winged one, whose eyes shot forth with piercing bolts of lightning, and whose massive beating wings summoned rain into the sky. Which, I shit you not, I was totally visualizing rain coming because we haven't had rain in forever, and it rained yesterday and again today. So I'm just saying, I was saying thank you for the rain before it came, and that is an example of what I'm talking about. Standing 3 feet tall in a body with 7 foot wingspan and eyesight up to 7 times more powerful than our own, eagle flies higher than any other bird and embodies the essence of the great thunderbird even today. To many First Nation peoples, such as the Aztecs, the Mayans, and the Pueblo Indians, eagles symbolize the rising sun. Known as a sacred messenger from heaven and the eye of the sun, eagle brings the gift of expanded perception and celestial power, carrying prayers to the Creator and returning with a vision for the path ahead. The Celts also honored eagle as the ally to water, with her unique ability to see into the depths with great clarity from above. When being courted by a prospective life partner, the female eagle flies up with an object such as a stick in her talons and drops it, watching to see if her male suitor will be committed and fast enough to dive down and catch it before it lands. She knows this daring feat may need to be repeated live with her offspring one day, should they falter in their first steps from the nest. If the courtship is successful, they will mate in similar fashion, mid dive between heaven and earth. Seen by many as the chief of all the winged ones, eagles' daily habits share a deep connection with each of the elements of air, water, earth, fire, and wood. The message: when eagle soars into your skies, she brings with her the gift of freedom born of the courage to see beyond all limitations. Eagle comes to awaken the visionary in you. She calls you to the high place of your purest dreaming. She comes to remind you that you did not come here to be tangled or suppressed by life. Hells to the no, we did not. You did not come here to be weighed down by the details of your day to day, but to rise with the breath of your great spirit, to stretch your heart and your vision beyond what may have once seemed realistic or appropriate, into the wide open field of all possibility. And I want to pause on that part, like, to call us to stretch your heart and vision beyond that which may have once seemed realistic or appropriate. That is so truthful because so many of us have been taught what's realistic and what's appropriate. Fuck that. People are going to tell you that for the rest of your life. People are going to constantly project lack upon you. They're going to constantly try to project their fears at you. They're going to constantly tell you that that's not realistic. Oh, that's not appropriate behavior. And you need to really ignore that. You need to get so good at putting your earplugs in, and you need to tune into your source and your inner heart's vision, and you make that magic happen. And one day those people, if they're wise, they will be watching you as you rise and you show them what's possible, and they will want to listen to you. They're going to want to hear what you have to say because they're going to watch. And I know there's people that have seen me and then they've seen my life shape shift, and they're kind of like, I kind of want to go and ask her some stuff because how the hell does she get that stuff to happen so good all the time for herself? And they'll listen. And then there's some that are just like, oh no, there's limits, there's fears, there's lack. And I'm like, see you later. I'm going to keep expanding because that is not an energy that I want to hang out in. And it doesn't mean I don't love them. I love all the people on the planet. I deeply care about all of humanity. That's why my soul burning desire is to help wake them up. But we need to move with our discernment, and we need to speak and inspire those who are ready. That's going to feel good. It's going to feel uplifting. And trying to teach people that don't want to understand, or trying to convince people that are in poverty consciousness that abundance exists, it's going to be draining. So just trust whoever you are that are listening today, trust that you're becoming the alignment of what you're wanting is the best place to put your energy. So if you're wanting something to change on the planet, be that change. Go and put effort there. Go and put your focus there. Put your energy there. Put your heart there. Put your passion there. Put your focus there, and you watch what happens. But if you want to continue to stay stuck in the so-called reality of your old situation, go ahead and stay there, and it's going to feel suffocating, stifling, and you're going to feel suppressed and tangled, and you'll know it because you're going to feel it. So if you're not feeling comfortable with that feeling anymore, shake off those bondage chains and start rising into the power that you came here to show others that you have. That is going to feel good. Um, let's see, I'll continue here. Eagle medicine brings the power to build a bridge between your greatest aspiration and your current reality. A bridge. So I may have this desire, like the Love Center and my own show that reaches millions, and I'm getting paid abundantly, and I've got, booked clients that are coming to workshops and masses, and I'm doing healing retreats and seminars and workshops, and woohoo, my life is awesome. Okay, that's what I'm holding in my meditation. Now, Spirit, bring me the bridge, prepare the bridge so that I can walk over that bridge like that tightrope walker. Show me the way. And this is every moment of your day, Spirit's going to bring you intuition. And I will get that like hit, go in here and talk to these people, which I'm going to get to in a minute. And this is how Spirit works. When you live a Spirit-led life, you hold your vision of what you want. You thank Spirit for providing that bridge and showing and illuminating the steps as you're moving. And you take action. You take aligned action. Ooh, I got a feeling to go put my resume there. I got a feeling to go make those business cards, right, Cindy? And boom, she's on it. Instead of saying, oh, I should do that, I'll do it later, we take action. That's going to really help us with forward movement. Eagle knows there is time to perch, a time to study from afar, and a time to soar above, and a time to dive with great focus toward that which you are seeking. As you prepare to embark upon a new life change or a creative endeavor, take time first to bring yourself to higher ground. Breathe in the mountain breezes that give birth to lofty visions. And this is where I would even encourage you to go into nature. This is why I will go hiking with my daughter and my dog, and I'll just be like, okay, just left my job, don't really know where I'm going. Let's go hiking. Let's go sit in nature's sanctuary, and let's sit up tall on that mountain in the perch of expanded vision, and let's listen to Source, listen to God as it whispers into us the new vision. And this is very powerful. So if you're feeling, man, I really want to go to the mountains, or I really need to go near the ocean, or I really am feeling called to the forest to go hiking, listen to that, because that could be very much what you need to help you hear the messages of Source so that you will have the courage to cross that bridge into a new reality. Let's see. With Eagle's view, you will see with great clarity not only the field of infinite possibilities before you, but also what actions are needed to realize your dreams. With this clarity comes the energy and inspiration to claim all that is your dreaming and more. Move with Eagle's power and grace, and you will find that great heights can be reached with ease and grace, while maintaining a grounded connection to Earth. And here's the affirmation. From the mountaintop of my being, I see a world of infinite possibility. I open my wings and let go of all limitations. My great spirit lifts me higher, and I bring visions of heaven back to Earth. That is what we're all here to do. Boom, right there. That's what we're here to do. And I'm going to read that one more time in case anybody was wanting to write it down. From the mountaintop of my being, I see a world of infinite possibility. I open my wings and I let go of all limitations. My great spirit lifts me higher. I bring visions of heaven back to Earth. And that is what I'm doing with my life. And I really am hoping that more and more of you from watching the show over the past year, that you're having the courage to do that. I encourage you, like souls like Cindy, if you're wanting a mentor that will help you become a badass warrior that's here to bring heaven to earth, contact me. Stop procrastinating it. If it's not me and there's someone in your community that's an aligned healer or a coach, call them and put time and effort into your dreams. And you watch how that effort is going to help you. It's going to help you grow into your highest potential. But stop procrastinating about it, and stop talking about your crappy story, because your old crappy story is crappy. And so just stop putting energy there. I'm going to pause. Is there anybody else? Anybody want to call in today? I'll tell you the number, 919-518-9773, or Computers 2K voice on Skype. And if you want to call in, I will do a complimentary reading, which is kind of an awesome thing. So take advantage of that. Call in if you'd like. Any other comments, Amnon?
Nope.
Okay.
No, everything is kind of slow in the chat now.
Okay. I wanted to read something else to you guys, so I'm going to see if I can pull it up. This is what, right before the show, when I was meditating about what we're going to talk about today, I saw 444. And you guys know how that's one of the ways the universe speaks to us. So today I mentioned animal totems and how that happened to me today, completely fit with the message. And then this is the number 444. I looked it up on Google. Just search spiritual meaning of 444. I encourage you to read the Joanne Sacred Scribe site because it's very aligned. And here's what it says. Number 4 resonates with the vibrations of the archangels: practicality, responsibility, productivity, illumination, and initiation. Building solid foundations, stability, ability, honesty, and inner wisdom. Determination and endurance, and hard work in progress. Number 4 also represents our passion and our drive and encourages us to work harmoniously yet diligently to achieve our goals and aspirations. Number 4 is also the number that represents the 4 elements of air, fire, water, and earth, the 4 sacred directions, north, south, east, and west. With 4s appearing, the influence and energies of the number 4 are magnified and enhanced. The angel number 444 asks you to pay attention to your intuition and inner wisdom, as your connection with your angels and angelic realm is very strong at this time. And it's always strong. But this is what they're saying through me, is they were telling me, Tawnya, we are with you. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to worry about. Yeah, some stuff looks a little like, whoa, where are we going? What's happening? Don't worry about it. We're taking care of all the details. You keep listening to us give you little guidance and nudges, and it's all going to make sense. So this is how they'll come in numbers sometimes to give us a little message. You are encouraged to continue on your current path, as your drive and determination will lead to success and fulfillment. Angel number 444 is a message that the angels and archangels are with you, encouraging you and guiding you. They are offering you positive energies, inner strength, and support to enable you to get the work done that needs to be done. They know and understand that you have been toiling diligently towards your goals and encourage you to continue on your current path to achieve the success and results you desire. Use your strong connection with the angelic realm to your benefit and be open to their promptings and messages. Listen and trust your intuition and follow its guidance. Number 444 is a message that you have nothing to fear in regards to your life, your work, or your divine life purpose and soul mission. When you take positive action towards your highest intentions, aspirations, and goals, the universe works in your favor and helps you to establish solid foundations to advance you along your path. Know that the angels surround and support you, encouraging you to keep up the good work that you have been doing, and trust that all is well. You are on the correct path. Is that not awesome? So that's an example of how I'm like putting out to the universe my intention, and I'm listening like, okay, what is the highest soul mission? Help me remember what I'm here to do. You know my burning desire in my heart. I want my own paid show. I want to have opportunities to travel and to lead retreats and seminars, and I'm ready for it. So angels bring in these people and these assistants and bring in the solid foundations. And so interestingly, in my movie, I've been putting that out so strongly, and certain people in my movie have been falling away. The ones that were just takers, they weren't really here to contribute. They'd talk about stuff a lot. They'd talk about helping Tawnya move forward. They'd talk about wanting to be better, and then they would not do anything about that. So this is where I had to release and shake off all those ones that were just like the talkers and call in the ones that are actually going to help me move forward diligently in that direction of my life's path. So one of the things, I think I might have said a little bit about this last time I had called in, or I had left my job and I had gone to drop a letter because I was guided to be a messenger of truth. So I did that. And then I was driving through downtown Vancouver, and I was just like, I'm going to take some resumes to a couple places, and I had in mind. But as I was driving on Main Street, my guide said, you need to go in there. They need what you have. You're going to help them. And I was like, what is that place? I don't even know what that place is. And they're like, you need to go in there. Go in there and introduce yourself. So I pull my car over. My daughter waits there, and I said, I'll be right back. And I walk into this place called Natural Body Works. And we'll see where this all leads because I'm not exactly sure yet. But I walk in and I meet the receptionist, very sweet girl. I want to say her name was Lori. And she was very sweet. And she's like, hey, what can I do for you? What brings you in? And I was just being honest. And I'm like, well, this might sound a little out of the box, but I was driving along and my angels actually told me I was supposed to come in here and talk to you, and that there's something that you need from me and that I can help with something that you're wanting to have here. And she was like, that's awesome. So she was very open and perceptive to my truth and didn't make me feel weird. That's a good sign. And this is part of how I live my life. I'm going to be who I am regardless. And if people seem weird and sheepish in my being boldly who I am, that's a sign for me that they're not ready for that. So I don't have to really worry about it. But she was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And I was talking about living a spirit led life and that I do workshops and I do women's circles. And I was just telling her who I am, gave her my resume, gave her my bio and all this information. And she was like, I am so excited to meet you. Like, I would love to have you come here and do some workshops or something. And she's like, I'm going to give your information to the owner. And I said, perfect. So I left. Well, a couple days later, I was in meditation. I was asking my angels, just give me a sign. Like, where am I supposed to go? This feels a little different. I'm just floating and I don't really know where you want me to go now. Where can I be where can I be of greatest use? Because my soul loves to serve and assist others. So if I don't feel like there's anything for me to do, I just feel kind of like, what's happening? Like, I like to go help others. So guide me. And so right after that meditation, I went to turn on my phone ringer because I always silence it. And my phone rang like 5 seconds later. Kid you not, that's what happened. So I answer my phone and it's the owner. Her name is Shayna, I believe, the owner of Natural Body Works. And she was like so excited to meet me. And she's like, everything you talk about doing sounds amazing. And we've really been wanting something like that here. And would you be open to doing workshops here? And I was like, yeah, like that's exactly my passion. So tomorrow, or no, not tomorrow, tomorrow's Monday, Tuesday morning, I'm going to be meeting her for tea and we're going to be talking and just see how we can brainstorm and create, as visionaries together. So there's an example. A couple weeks ago, I got an intuition to give my husband my resume for his job. He works at Wafer Tech, and they have an in-house gym. And I was like, I don't know if they'd be open to it, but if they'd want a yoga teacher or a Pilates teacher, or, someone to come in there and help people with fitness, I just thought maybe you should drop my resume off. And this was before I left my job, actually. So he turned in my resume. I got an email. Yeah, was it yesterday? It was actually, what's today, Sunday? It was like Friday. I got an email from them saying that they wanted to meet me and would I be interested in teaching some fitness program. And then I messaged back in an email, yeah, that sounds awesome. Like, give me a call, let me know. And then a minute later, my phone rings and it's the guy and he's wanting me to come in. So Thursday, I'm going in to talk to them about that. That is me showing you that we can live this way. We can completely leave enslaving environments that don't feel good. And I'm going to tell you, I'll keep doing that. So when I go to these interviews and these meetings, am I going to be desperate for a job? Hell no. Why would I do that? If I'm leaving old energy of enslavement that didn't feel honoring to me, there's sure as shit not going to be that energy as I'm entering a new contract or a new agreement with someone. So the reason I'm saying this is that I like to live my life very transparently and show people through my example. So that's what's fun, is if I can show you, like, how did I manifest my house of my dreams, the love of my life? How did I draw him in? How did I draw in the income I do with teaching and leading and helping others? How did I draw in this new job and this new career? I like to show that through example because that is fun. And then it shows you, like, okay, she looks like just a normal girl and she's pretty typical and she's tuned in, but she's got magic happening because she listens to her angels and she's consistent and she has faith and she trusts her intuition. If you all can listen to that in yourself and you can see that I'm mirroring that to you, I am mirroring what an aligned life looks like, and that it is not one where you're desperate. It is not one where you'll do anything for money. I hear people say that to me sometimes and it makes me feel gross in my stomach when they're like, I'd do anything to get that job or I'd do anything for that money. And I'm like, careful what you say, because and they are speaking their truth, but this is not the path to liberation. To do anything for money or anything to get a husband or anything to get that job is enslavement. And if we're not really careful, we might be manifesting things we want, but we're not maybe doing it in the most powerful way. So I would encourage you to realize, like I told the girls yesterday in the workshop, every single one of you are powerful creators. Sorry, I'm like wiggling in my chair. Every one of us are freaking powerful beyond measure. But where are we focusing our energy? That's what it all comes down to. So I may be very powerfully focused on my goals and my dreams and my desires and what I love, and boom, I'm just making it happen. And then other people that are in lack and poverty consciousness will be looking at me and thinking jealous thoughts and like, oh, she just has everything handed to her. They'll do their assumptions, their make-believe, imaginary, versions of what's going down. And they'll be jealous, they'll be competitive, they'll be negative, gossipy, they'll try to hurt me, they'll try to stop my career from expanding. That energy is lack and poverty consciousness. And I don't care who is doing it, it's out of alignment and it is not going to bring them joy, nor will it bring anybody else joy. But the ones of you that are focused on your goals and dreams and your desires and what you love, even if it's not in your reality yet, you are the visionaries, and keep focusing there no matter what people around you are saying, and get away from those negative people, the naysayers. Get away from them. Seriously, they are not going to help your dreams thrive. Go towards those that will actually support you. They'll believe in you. They will coach you along and they'll cheer you along. Those souls are going to help you. And this is the recipe I shared in the workshop yesterday. If I'm focusing on what I love, I'm a powerful creator. If I'm focusing on what I hate and what I can't stand and what makes me angry, I'm a powerful creator. So the recipe is the exact same. It's like I told them in the class, if I'm making chocolate cake or vanilla cake, same recipe, one's chocolate, one's vanilla. And it just depends on the energy I'm focused. So if I want to be a victim, I'm going to focus on, there's no possibilities, I'm stuck, there's not enough time, there's not enough money, blah, blah, blah. That's what I'm going to talk about all the time. I'm going to talk about it, I'm going to blog about it, I'm going to vent about it, I'm going to maybe write books about it. That will be the mantra, and that will be the experience. Then this soul that talks about I'm like too excited. The one that talks about the infinite possibilities and what could be and what they want and desire and what is going to be so awesome. It's on its way, but it's not here yet. That is the visionary. And I love the visionaries. And the visionaries are the ones that are here to shapeshift the world. And we're here to transform and draw in, like it said, heaven to earth. We're here to anchor in that light and that love. And anything is possible. I promise you, anything is possible. I have seen too much as a healer. I have had people heal physical disease in a session. And then I have had people with physical disease that didn't heal in a session. And not that they weren't worthy or one was worthy. It's all divine timing. It's all the dance. One maybe has more lessons and then they'll heal. For one, maybe they're afraid of letting go of that wound, that trauma, because what will they be without it? For another, they're like, I'm fucking done. I am done suffering. I want to heal. Boom, they're healed. I've seen it with physical issues, emotional, mental trauma, soul realignment, like past life stuff that makes no sense really logically, but really was making a huge impact in a soul's life. This is the stuff I'm here to do as the worker of light that I am. So I encourage any of you that are ready for those changes, don't be afraid. Call me. You can easily call me and just ask me questions and we can go from there. So to sign off for today, I encourage you to go look at my website, Tawnya Angel, Tawnya, angel555.com. You can see all my services on there, and then contact me. You can call me. I believe my phone number is on there. My email's on there. Email's tanyaangel@gmail.com, and just give me a ring and set up a session. One of the things I'm offering till the end of August is a 5-session package for soul coaching, and this is remote or in person, but typically these are more popular with remote clients. But you can sign up for 5 sessions, and then I will throw in 2 sessions on the house from my heart just to benefit you. So that's an amazing deal. And if you sign up in the next week, I'm going to throw in a bonus little gift of something that I made that I will mail you. It's a meditation CD that I will send to you as a gift. So any of you that are ready for that and you're ready to take charge of your life, you're ready to move in the aligned direction, give me a call and step in. Just step in and stop procrastinating and stop complaining. It's time for change. So for all of you that tuned in today, thank you so much for your time, your love, your energy. If any of you guys want to send a love offering to support our show, we would be so fabulously grateful. And we did have Cindy send in a love offering last week. So thank you, Cindy, so much. We very much appreciate that. And for any of you that want to, I'm not kidding, send $5. If every one of you watching, there's like 1,500 of you, sent $5, you would abundantly support us and help us with what we're doing. And we would be so grateful. So even $5, it's not that much. It's one Starbucks coffee that you're going to not give to Starbucks. So I encourage you to be generous and to really have gratitude and have honor for those that are actually helping you. So if you feel this show helps you, if it's inspiring you, if it's encouraging you in a aligned direction, please support us in this show. So you can send a love offering, again, to tanyaangel@gmail.com. via PayPal and just send it and mark friends or family if you can. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in. Bless you all, and keep focusing on what you are wanting, not what you're afraid of. Blessings and namaste.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Health In with Debbie Brook, Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, The Tawnya Love Show, Your Healthy Pet with Gisela DiCarlo. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by Atomus.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters for professionals, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.